others were in school. A very deprived community. And all said to itself, oh my goodness, this community is going nowhere. We leave children running around while others are in school. Something has to be done to send these children to school. That is how Slum to School started. Today they call it Slum to School Africa. Because again, hundreds and hundreds of young people, of children, out of school children have been sent into school as a result of this work in the school. The working in communities, transforming communities. When I went to school one time, they went to show me a crèche or nursery that was built inside the community. If I had the time, I would have shown you a picture of 3 churches that surrounded that nursery that he was building. At the time Otto was in that community that day that I was there with him, while he was walking and the entire community was cheering him, everyone went, Otto, both. No one for the day. Probably you open on Friday night for all night. And then Sunday, you gather the people, preach to them, go back home. And we could tell that those churches are bigger communities for it. By the look of it, are beautiful. Tell that. We never see that. Also introduced himself the very first time as a social entrepreneur. And I said to myself, to know more about this at the people level. So I went to do my doctoral studies in this whole area. And in the project, one of the very first things that I came across as I was doing the initial readings, about the whole thing. In the standard literature, the scholarly literature, all the people who were mentioning were Christians who were doing amazing stuff all over the or who had done. For instance, they revolutionized North Care Hospital management. Mother Teresa, who won Nobel Prize for work among the poor in India. St. Francis of Assisi, who founded several orders committed to living in the prevention while in service to the deprived. There's a guy called Eric Lickbell, who was a pastor, whose church was like in the middle of drug epidemic in the UK, and he founded an organization called Kaleidoscope, an innovative drug rehabilitation program. There was another one called Chet Egerton, who is the founder of Save the Children, and who championed the UN Charter on the Rights of Children. And then Ruth Weiler, who spawned Theatre. Theatre is a kind of social enterprise where what Weiler found out was that oftentimes when the very poor, like cocoa farmers in Ghana or basket pickers somewhere, they play their products or they come up with their products. You have middlemen who come, buy those products, and go and sell them at like very high price. And they make the money and then they keep it. Their profit was to make sure that what? The poor man who's making the basket is quite always. And while I think they went on some tour somewhere and they realized that this is not right. That I can come to maybe like Africa and buy a basket for 100 naira. But when you go to the US, I buy it for $100. And so she came up with this idea of fair trade, so that the poor who are making their products would benefit from it. And so they created this kind of system where they become the middlemen, so that they're able to pick out those agents that kind of rip off the poor business people. So all of this was interesting for me, and I was interested in it because of my own personal mission statement, which is from Mark chapter 6, verse 34. My wife and I have got more into this. The idea that when Jesus Christ saw the crowd, they were like sheep without a shepherd. And he had compassion on them and taught them many things. So that is what I am about. And today, before I move forward, there is one person here I want to introduce to you, who is a social entrepreneur, who has an amazing story of how she got involved, what she's doing. And during my research, I worked with her, and she was very open to telling all her stories. And I felt this meeting here tonight, this afternoon or this morning, would not really fit if you don't hear story. Also was another person. I have another brother here who was part of my study, who will speak to you tomorrow. But let me call this lady. And as I said, what she's doing, I've visited a project a couple of times, somewhere in Lakaja, and it's really amazing. There are a lot of struggles, but really amazing. The determination that she has, and she's giving the list. So please come on. My story is very long. After that, it will give us just about 5 to 8 minutes. And it's going to be strong to convert that story into that time. But we'll see.
Good afternoon, everyone. Once again, thank you so much, Dr. Ambrose, for this opportunity. I'm very grateful. I think it's actually going to start, but it's been a journey. I study computer science, so reason for because if you are doing NGO, you need social entrepreneurship, you need capital, you need funding. And so reason one is something I don't have passion for. I don't like sharing my body into the men. I don't want to disturb people. So now finding myself in an organization where you need to do corporate value, not for yourself, but to help the society, because you've seen certain things that are not going right. I remember in the year 2012, I was going to the office and I had the bunch of 3 children by the roadside. I was like, if I do, I was struggling. What am I going to tell her? What will I do? The spirit told me, go, ask her that what are the children not in school. I turned, I walked back to where she was. I asked her, ma, she could see how you lost engineer after me. I could see it in her eye, but she didn't want her work. I left. I went. Could you believe that for like 5 days times I was going about this one? I'm so sure that realized that something is wrong, or this person, there's something mentally wrong with this one going up. And then eventually I summoned the courage, I stayed and spoke with the children, asking them what happened. To cut the story short, that was the beginning of Street to School initiative. Because by the following day, I'm going to, in that day, I'm going to write letters to my friends and colleagues that let's do this. I saw this particular woman with 3 children at home school, and I know something is wrong, but we can do this. I mean, we're able to put resources together, and the following day, tracing her back to her house, I realized that They live in an uncompleted building, a church, so they have already been sent out of the place because there was a clash between our children and the owner of the uncompleted building. He couldn't reach or write the alphabet, and we enrolled him in one of the best schools in that community, not knowing that that is the same school that the grandchild of the landlady, you know, the competent was going to. So God has a way of fixing and doing. So when they started the school, this boy actually inspired us because we saw the performance. He was enthusiastic, and within short time, he spent 5 years there. So at the age of 14 or so, he finished primary school and he went to secondary school. Just as one was the best. So by the time we saw his growth and the way he was doing, we decided to look out for more Basits. The name is Basit. So we started going from one place to the other, looking at out of school children. How can we change the story? Nigeria has the highest number of out of school children. And the notion we usually have as Christians is that we are only meant for the church. Even the course of doing what I'm doing, I've had people telling me, is your pastor aware of what you're doing? Instead of being evangelizing, you are doing charity work. I'm sorry, but I was like, this is also part of the ministry. You are also reaching out to the others. I mean, it's like all the Bible and the preaching, but there's so much you can do by being, by having empathy and helping others. So, this boy who started a school in a community that they are not family school, but it was one story to the other. So we started. When we started in 2015, there was no money. And I was so concerned by the passion of we need to do this thing because we can't keep our hand. You might send your children to the best of school, but these children, the impact of them not going to school is going to affect in the next few years. So it has been the opportunities we have today is because some of them didn't go to school. So they have to feed on those that went to school and get money from them. Who said no, we can't close our eyes. So we have to start the school. We gather the children. When others are in school, we move around and move around with my team. We're able to get children together and we're able to fix them, put them in the school structure. And the only concern was that how we're going to get teachers salary. How we just really think very well, we plan it. But God will have it. There's something I know about God. Once whatever he asks you to do, he's not looking at your bank account.
Yeah.
I've learned that. There are times I have €0 in my accounts. But when it is time to act, resources will come from different areas and the work will be done. Whatever he commissions, whatever he asks you to do, he's a rich God. And if it is for profit you're doing, make sure you are bringing about the needed change in the society. And also today, we have about 200 children that come to school, they don't pay tuition. And to the glory of God, that one child, God had a plan when I kept going back and forth until I was able to speak with the mom. Today we have more than 200 that are in secondary school already. And we have 200 in that school that come every Monday to Friday. And one such things about these children is that they come to school, some of them are actually victims of broken hearts. So we understand that the place is broken. They come without food, some they don't even come with anything. So it was beyond numeracy and literacy for us. We have to ensure that they and I remember just 3 years back, a particular boy came to, we didn't even know that actually this boy was sleeping. About 18, 19-year-old boy was sleeping in the street. This is the community. We just came that Saturday. I just needed to share the story to tell how much influence and impact Christians should be celebrated and not Big Brother Nigerian friends or whatever. We are the influencers in our community, and we are brought about to make the change. Let people identify you to be a change maker, not only in the church, even in the community where we live. We can bring about a whole lot of difference. friends. So this boy came, and so on Saturday we opened school. So we had a friend from Japan, a Nigerian Japanese. So we wanted to see what we're doing. So we went around. One way around was taking video. I didn't know, I was showing him. But I went to the office. I noticed there was something that was donated to us that were packed. I was wondering what could have packed rice, packed granola oil. Went to the next class. We saw phone on the table. I was wondering, was it that the teacher came and had the head teacher? What happened? We saw flip and saw shoe. Then we got to know that a tea came in. Then we got up and discussed with this Japanese. And he said, he saw some people running out of the toilet. He thought they were part of the boys were walking. He said, no. So he went to outside the people. So God actually did the CCTV for us. No, we don't have to, but nothing captured it unaware. So he brought out his phone and we saw two guys running out of the toilet. So we were able to track them. Police came and took the main lead and they put him in the jail. But the spirit was telling that we always want to know why a child, we don't judge child, we want to know the reason behind their action. So we called this boy. And we told the police, please give us an opportunity to talk one-on-one with this boy. We want to know why he did what he did. Because they asked us, should they release it? We don't want to press charges. We said, just allow us to talk with him. And we got talking. We got to know that this boy was driven out of where he was staying. He had lost his mom. The father was nowhere to be found because he had many other wives. So he and the younger ones were living in a community because he didn't have where he was staying in the school. So what happened? Did you write wife this year? He said, yes, he did. I didn't check. He didn't check. That was about October 3-4 years, 2019. But 2020, why are you doing it? He said, because there was no food. Eventually, we got to, one of our staff went to check the result. And when they checked the result, he passed everything. Because he had not checked, so he thought there was no life beyond going to SSD. Mother was not there, father was not there, the guardian was not there. So he was already almost joining robbery camp. When we checked it, we had to enroll him in lesson. We JAM. That year he registered for JAM lesson. By January, he did JAM. Wanted to study, go for military, but to God's glory. He is now OND holder from Washington Polytechnic Accounting. He is 21-year-old and we sponsor the portrait. So he has OND now and he's doing what? By God's grace. Although he's looking for a job and wants to go back. But what am I saying is Christians are influencers. We are apostles in the marketplace. The boy that made us to start the first school, his name is Basit. Today, actually this year, because we started when he was 9 years old. And to God's glory, this year he also wrote to WAEC because we sponsored him and he had the best result in the school. He had 5 A1, 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 5 A1s, 2 B's and 2 C's. Even JAM in scored 249. And he got that. And we are waiting for the admission because we went for last year, we want to study law, and the cut-off man is 70%, but he got 71.23%. So we are hopeful to God. So there's someone to tell the truth. No matter how little what you think you're doing, please keep at it. And there's something I said about God. Whatever God asks you to do, He's not looking at your bank account. He has all the resources and He has the means of bringing people together to ensure that thing is done. So to God's glory, we have school here in Lagos. We also have in Kwara State, where children come together to learn so that they can realize God's potential. Given a chance. Thank you so much.
I wish we had more time that we could hear more of her story. One of the stories she told me, and I thought she was going to start with that, was that when she was doing her NYSC in Kogi State, she was walking along the road. You know, Kogi is a very hot place. This concrete sidewalk, they would, And that just got our attention. To just imagine the heat that she was feeling, walking upright, the kind of discomfort that young boy was going through, running on that hot sidewalk. And so she said, we must do something about this. I must get a wheelchair. That is so she should have feel that way. I must get a wheelchair. That intention to get a wheelchair, then are all the way to the governor's house. To cut a long story short, she did not only get one wheelchair. Don't have many wheelchairs to prepare. Okay? Several wheelchairs. For not only that one boy, but other people like him who are following responsibility. So today, we're here to make a difference. We're here to challenge our thinking. We're here to spark something inside our hearts so that we can take action. Let me go to the objectives of our time here today. The session is designed to provide Christian leaders with practical skills. I think I'll have to ask my media people to help me with this bickering TV. To provide Christian leaders with practical skills and knowledge that will encourage them to intentionally incorporate social entrepreneurship principles into their ministries. The aim is to equip attendees with actionable strategies, tools, and comprehensive understanding of how social entrepreneurship can be leveraged and integrated into their ministries for sustainable impact within their communities as a way of advancing God's kingdom agenda. And the way I have designed the class or this workshop, I decided to make it a workshop. We're going to have 4 main areas of outcomes. You know, in teaching, we say what you want to do as a teacher is to change habits. Yeah, there are 4 areas of habits or categories of habits that we want to change today. Number 1, habits of the mind. So I would like to create an understanding concerning social entrepreneurship. So the first objective we have here today is that we'll be able to understand the fundamental principles of social entrepreneurship and how they are putting me in crisis here. Can you just hold on? Actually, there's some things that you need to fill out. So that's why you have to fill it. These are just that because we will have a break. We'll try to study that. Okay. So how to define number 1, understand the fundamental principles of social entrepreneurship and how they are aligned with and can be integrated into our ministry practices. Number 2, we want to change habits of the heart. Cultivate a strong passion for utilizing social entrepreneurship, and innovative methods to drive positive social change as key components of fulfilling God's mission. And then habits of the hands, we want to develop skills in identifying SC, that social entrepreneurship opportunities, and acquire practical tools for launching initiatives within our specific ministry functions. Lastly, habits of the youth. Want to identify immediate next steps and resources that will need to start social entrepreneurship initiatives in our communities. So let me start by defining, I think we need to show this thing because there's a video I need to show now. I want us to start by defining social entrepreneurship or this kind of stuff. Can we have this on? I don't know if I'm not that computer at the workplace. If I don't have a computer at the workplace, let's do that. I can transfer the notes to that computer. Just give me just 1 minute. I was just connected to audio. Audio. See why I told you to be great? It's all just great, yeah? It's not enough. Let's see if we can try. Okay, what I want us to do is I want us to watch the key question in defining social entrepreneurship is what is social entrepreneurship, right? And oftentimes when we talk about defining social entrepreneurship, people think there's one answer. Somebody has said that as you read the picture, everybody has his own definition of social entrepreneurship. So let's look at this video. And one of the things I want us to do is to note down elements found to be common to the definitions offered by the different speakers and then we can share our findings after the video. So if you have your notebooks, please pay very close attention to some of the key elements that all of these people will be talking about in terms of defining social entrepreneurship.
Me, I think the phrase social entrepreneurship is really about all entrepreneurship, right? Every company, every organization, every NGO has an impact on people. And this community, I think, is just saying that that impact is just as important as making money.
To change or catalyze society, to build a new and better sustainable either economy or social structure or political structure, or civil structure, to secure rights for individuals who previously been marginalized, to incorporate and bring people into more philanthropic or rather financial opportunity that they not known to have to be able to participate at a new level.
I think it's really figuring out a way to make a difference in the lives of people in a sustainable and a profitable fashion.
I didn't know that I was a social entrepreneur until several years ago, and someone told me that's what I do. And so I think of it now as people who find challenges in our global society, and they use innovation, they use techniques, technology, business in new and innovative ways to create solutions for those challenges.
And social entrepreneur for me is about changing systems to promote healthful, happy, dignified human beings.
I struggle a little bit with social entrepreneurship. I mean, I interpret it as committed social activists who are exploring powerful ways to drive change. But I think everyone brings their own definition to social entrepreneurship. That's the way I see it.
So happy to be here and to meet on that social entrepreneurs because they are a solution giver. They think about how we can build our communities, how we can bring solutions to the problem that our community are facing. And that's exactly what we do in Benin also with Terra Benin, and we try to do our best and to be on those,
So social entrepreneurship to me is a different type of innovator that's not afraid to think beyond the traditional status quo. And what they're really trying to do is understand how do I enable social change in a way that's sustainable and systemic, that really attacks the levers of poverty or injustice, inequality, whatever the issue may be, but they're trying to do it in such a way that their work and their impact will persist long after they're gone.
Okay. So we had people try to define social entrepreneurship. Okay. I just want you to share with me what you got. Okay. What are some of the key components that you got from those definitions? What is social entrepreneurship? Anybody okay from the back there? Do we have another mic? Yes, sir.
One of the key important things I was able to grasp here is making difference in the life of people, making impact in the life of people is what is social about. And it's very about.
Good. Thank you so much. Anybody else? Yes.
There's a mic.
I will put down that is a solution that affects the community. Use of available resources which will provide from man, process, or technology.
Come again.
It's a solution that affects the community with the use of available resources, which will provide from man, process, or technology.
Great. I'm very glad you're able to capture all of that. You know, but it's a solution to having process. Yes, can you give them the mic?
So much deeper, of course, I can also be We use innovation and creativity.
Okay, all right, good. Good, they use innovation and creativity. Anybody else?
Okay, so I have social activism.
Social activism, okay, it's a form of social activism, yes, sir. Making impact in the lives of the disadvantaged.
Changing systems.
Changing systems. Changing systems. One of the things that in talking to Tosin, Otto, and some of the other people, is that they are about really effective deep social change. They are not satisfied with just every one or two people. Okay, somebody has said the social entrepreneur is not just satisfied with giving you fish to eat or even teaching you how to fish. He wants to change the entire fishing industry. Are you getting me? All right. So it's deep systemic change that they go for. And of course, there are different levels of social entrepreneurship as we shall see later. Okay, let me ask another question. I'm maybe because of that I'm just moving forward. Here are from some elements that I found. Okay, during my study of social entrepreneurship, the phenomenon comes under these two categories. There's the social aspect and then there's also the entrepreneurship aspect. And under the social aspect, some of the things that are usually captured are one, it involves society and its structures. That is where this idea of systemic change comes. Okay, you tackle deep structural challenges in society. Most social entrepreneurs find themselves in certain sectors of society where they're working and their desire is to see some level of transformation in that sector. Just for instance, in the educational sector. Over the years, she merged, I think, a little bit into healthcare because one of the children in her school died because there was no community health clinic or center where the school is located. And you know where that child died? Who can guess? Where did the child die? In the school. Anybody else guess? In the hospital. In the home. In church. They were praying for that child. And Tosin what relentlessly against government. Against government, the wishes of government, and their desire to use money out of her. She worked relentlessly, got a grant from the Japanese government, and rehabilitated 2 health centers in that area. State of the art. I went there to see it myself. You cannot believe the kind of equipment that is in those health clinics. Perhaps better equipped than some of our hospitals. The government systems to come against you, fight to truth against. Social entrepreneurship is not easy. So society and its structures, the deep setups, the focus on people in community, the inclusion of everyone, networks of trusting relationships. And you have to be able to network. And then there is also this idea of creating value, which has to do with problem solving. Ethical concerns for others. And then on the entrepreneurship side, there is trading in goods and services. Now, a lot of people, when they think of social entrepreneurship, they only think of that aspect. That is to sell. Okay, buy and sell. but it goes way, way, way beyond that. It's starting a business organization. An organization that is set up to solve problems. It is innovation as creative destruction. So the whole idea of entrepreneurship has to do with innovation. An entrepreneur is not somebody that just sells, okay, or is involved in business. An entrepreneur is an innovator, somebody who comes up with a new idea for doing or tackling old problems. Okay? Dr. Odon did mention, for instance, the typewriter. There also time the typewriters were like common to every one of us. So they maybe don't even understand what the typewriter is. I was asking some students I was teaching in class just the other day whether they know what a Walkman is. Walkman. None of the students in my class knew what a Walkman was.
Wow.
I'm not talking about gramophone.
Walkman.
That's what a Walkman is. Not talk of gramophone. Well, Walkman is just a few years back.
Yes.
Yeah, all the time, everybody was saying what we had a Walkman.
Yes.
Okay, but innovation kind of made that what? Obsolete. Just a few years ago, every one of us had a pen drive. Pen drives are going out of fashion.
Wait.
Because now it's streaming. Almost everything you have, you can stream or you can put in the cloud. And when you are ready, because of 5G, you can use it. All right, so these entrepreneurs, Mark Zuckerberg is an entrepreneur. Bill Gates is an entrepreneur. They change the way things, in fact, as I said, they change the entire industry. So that's why it's called creative what? Destruction. Something has to die for another one to live. Okay? A grain of wheat that falls to the ground and dies. Is that also sad? So, and then it's creative use of resources. Resources are scarce. In oftentimes, they are difficult to come by, like Tosin has shared with us. How do you manage the little resources that is happening? Lastly, it's a pursuit of opportunities. Okay, if you see a gap where nobody else is seeing it, and you pursue it. That gap, you see, a lot of us see problems and complain about it. The entrepreneur sees a problem and it's what? An opportunity. Says, there's something that can be done here. Either for commercial self-interest or to solve that problem for the benefits of society. So those are the two things that kind of inform entrepreneurship. Let me just look at a few definitions that we have put up here. You don't have this, and probably maybe by the time you come tomorrow, we'll have gotten it for you. A social enterprise is defined as any business venture created for a social purpose. That is to mitigate or reduce the social problem or the market failure, and to generate social value while operating with the financial discipline, innovation, and determination of the private sector business. Another one defines it as double bottom line organizations that practice both altruism and commercial discipline. The third definition says it's a process by which citizens build or transform institutions to advance solutions to social problems such as poverty, illness, environmental destruction, human rights abuses, and corruption, in order to make life better for many. And then another one says social entrepreneurship is a process of effective, sustainable social change through founding new and innovative enterprises under severe resource constraints, primarily for the purpose of creating social value. So our working definition, if you can look down at your notes, and you can fill in the blanks. Unfortunately, those of you on this side don't have a screen. But that is the definition there that we have. Social entrepreneurship is defined as a process to pursue opportunities that catalyze social change and or address social needs. So any questions so far? Any questions so far? I want us to go through this process as quickly as possible so that we'll get to the workshop itself. Yes.
I'm wondering that social enterprise can actually be what I would call sensitive to location sensitive. Why I'm asking this question is that, for example, if you look at a place like Kano or Kaduna, we see young guys who are on the street. And we all know that they have their seniors or their masters who use them for their own selfish pursuits. So I'm wondering whether in a situation like this, how far social enterprise can actually make an impact there. That's why I'm saying, can we say it is location sensitive?
Oh yeah, transparent entrepreneurship always has to be located within a context. Okay, so people come up with challenges or come up with opportunities based upon the challenges they see within specific contexts. Okay. Let us move on, and then maybe as we continue to explain it, for our understanding, some of those needs to become a bit clear. All right. What is the ecosystem of social entrepreneurship? I've already mentioned some of them. Essentials of social entrepreneurship include social mission. Again, there's an outline in your notes that you can fill out. It includes a social mission, which is initiating an organization to solve problems. It always includes opportunity recognition, seeing what others may see. It involves innovation, bringing new ideas to old age problems. So social entrepreneurs always seek to address entrenched social problems. These are problems that have been with us for ages. Let's say, for instance, poverty, or lack of education, or problems that confront the girl child in a very patriarchal society. Okay, you raise one, the problem of maybe these young boys that have masters in especially Muslim clients. Okay, it's an age-old problem. So maybe a social entrepreneur can rise and say, we need to tackle this problem. There is one social entrepreneur I know whose goal is to solve Africa's food scarcity. That Africa must be able to feed itself. And it has found all kinds of innovative ways to grow crops. Okay? And then it is citizen driven. By that we mean that we do not wait for government. It is a bottom-up approach to entrepreneurship. You are not waiting for government to give you money, or you're not waiting for government to do something, or for a business to come and be established within the community. Okay, they see the need, and somebody rises to solve it. Again, nothing is here, so I keep referring to her. Walking the streets of Kogi, you see somebody crawling, says, this boy must stop crawling on the street. If the government cannot solve it, we must solve it. Okay, so it is citizen driven. Anybody can rise up. There is an organization called Ashoka, and their motto is everyone a change maker. And the idea is to spread change making all across the board. So every one of us can say, look, there is something, there is a gap here that I'm seeing, and I want to address it. Okay. Also, there is the issue of ethical fiber, keeping your integrity intact. Social entrepreneurs need integrity for them to operate properly. Because without integrity, you can't get funding, you can't get a good network of people to support you. Because as soon as people know, recognize 419 written on your forehead, they turn their backs on you. So integrity, that ethical fiber is absolutely essential. Okay? And social networking, that network of people who trust you, who believe in what you are doing, they are the ones that can get you going. It's sustainable impact, scaling and measuring. Also started small in Makoko today is, how do you call it, has scaled up. Initiatives, okay, but still has a servant mind. Then further to you, she's a level 5 leader. Okay, a level 5 leader is somebody who has a determined will to pursue their objectives, but at the same time, they accept it. They don't want to be, when something happens, to be applauded even. They hate applause. They say a level 5 leader is somebody when the organization is going well, when things are going well in the organization, he looks outside the window, stands at the window, looks out, and looks for somebody to applaud. His co-workers. Huh? Says this thing happened because of my colleague. But when things go bad, where do they go? They stand in front of a mirror and look at themselves and ask themselves the question, where did I go wrong? And so you need that kind of leader who is determined, but at the same time is very humble. Because you come across all kinds of people in this undertaking. People who will provoke you in different ways. And then higher education, higher calling. If you don't have a sense that you've been called to a higher purpose and that, in fact, there is somebody else you are responsible to, you can't do social entrepreneurship. It's not about yourself, it's not about you. Okay, and lastly, why he ought to say to himself, there must be something happening down there that I need to see. And why did he take action when he got paid? Because he had to have. Let me talk about the kinds or the forms of social entrepreneurship. And I'm going to be a bit technical here, as much as I also try to make it as quickly as possible. Now, social entrepreneurship is all sometimes seen along the spectrum. Okay? On the one hand here, we have what traditional non-profit organizations, NGOs, charitable organizations. All right? And on the other hand here, extreme end here, you have traditional for-profit business. Okay? And within that, in the middle of that, you find the possibility of social entrepreneurship. So, on the left-hand side, you have more social mission-driven organizations, and on the right-hand side, you have more profit-driven organizations. Now, these are the ways we'll define them. The traditional non-profit organization ventures rely solely on funding and donations to support charitable initiatives. I'm sure you know some organizations, they raise funds, okay? They go about the place to challenge people to give them money so that they can fulfill their mission. So that is a traditional mode of operating charity. Social entrepreneurs will kind of try to change that dynamic. And there are different forms of them. Number one, the non-profit income gathering activities. These are social ventures that generate some earned income to support their social benefits initiatives. Okay, let me put this one up so that we see examples of how it is done. For instance, there is fundraising events, membership fees. They do sales. Some people sell books. Sometimes they will rent, maybe they have a hall, they rent it out. Okay, and then they make the money. And sometimes also they have sponsorships and donations. But the social enterprise is a socially focused venture that uses business strategies to maximize social or environmental impact. They may own a business and they may even run a business. And the profit is reinvested in the social venture. They also take sponsorships and donations. There is one person that I worked with. What he has done is to start a business because he realizes that running a social enterprise is going to be a challenge, especially in getting funds. So he starts a business and he's running it. And then it is now that business that he is using to fund the social enterprise. He's still, getting donations. Okay, he's still getting donations from people, but he's using some business to fund it. And then you have the socially responsible businesses. Actually, businesses that are social enterprises. They don't raise donations. It is the kind of business they are doing that continues to generate funds for them, and then the money is reinvested into the organization. It's never used for how do you call it, sharing dividend to the owners to run the business. And of course, we all know what corporate social responsibility. So at the end of it all, the place for social entrepreneurship is within that axis that lies in the middle between the non-profit with income generating activities and corporation practicing social responsibility. Now, this is very important because if you're going to register a social enterprise or you start an organization, Nigeria does not have, as a country, they do not have policies for you to set up a social enterprise. Some countries have been able to do that, but not Nigeria. So, if you go to register a company, register it as what? What are your options? Then if you want to go register an NGO, what are your options? Business, you register as an association. An association, yes. Only extend liability. Yes. Okay. Now, for most NGOs, okay, or non-profit, most NGOs rather, the three options are what? Incorporated trustees. Yes. Most people start churches, that's how they register. Of course. Okay. Most NGOs also register as incorporated trustees. Okay. The limited by guarantee is the second one. And it's the one that is important for social entrepreneurship. And many people don't know that. All the organizations that I work with, they all register as incorporated trustees. Incorporated trustees will not allow you to do business. The government is not very vigilant about pursuing us when we do small business. Okay, as incorporated organizations are registered as incorporated trustees. But if we register as limited by guarantee, we can actually do business as long as the business, the profit does not go into our pockets. Okay, this is information that is very important. So maybe you are thinking, I need to start an organization. It will take you more time to register limited by guarantee. guarantee is harder, but it pays you better. Okay, I think church should start thinking in that direction. Okay, so yeah, I do type of economics.
The third one.
I said nothing.
Three.
But no, you can already start a business.
You talk about incorporated trustee, limited by guarantee. What of the third?
The third one is to register as a business.
Okay, next start.
Register as a business. Okay, this guy that I talked about that we want to start and functional, he has actually registered as a business. Initially, it was a business name, and then now we kind of associated it into a full-fledged business. So the business itself is growing those crops and selling them. But in the process, as he's making the money, he's putting it back into the business so that what? He's able to grow and solve the food problem that he wants to solve. Okay. Let's look at how social enterprises connect the other sectors of society. Now, we usually have three main sectors of society, right? We have the public sector, owned by the citizens. You and I own the government. And then we have the private sector, and then we have the third social sector. Then we just move beyond this. So this is how social enterprises operate. They are what we call hybrid organizations. Social enterprises are located in the intersections of the economic sectors. So where you have the public sector, the government, and the community or social sector, most people you get there are non-profit organizations. Then where you have the private and the social, what you have are not-for-profit or more than profit organizations. What do we mean by that? They are not-for-profit. That means they make profit, but it's not the profits they are about. Or they can be more than profit. They are making profits, but they can utilize that profit for themselves, but they do more, okay, than just the profit. And then, of course, at this other intersection, some form of social enterprise. Many people argue whether they are social enterprise, where governments and business meet. So public-private partnerships are a form of social enterprise, a form of it, because government wants to solve a big problem, it can't solve it. So it goes to what? The private sector. It says, can you help us? And the private sectors put their money into it. Huh? Like waste disposal, yes, waste management. By the way, there is one social enterprise called Recyclers or Recyclers by a young lady that graduated, I think, from Harvard and Cape. And it's changed the landscape of waste management. Okay. So what they have done is they have built cycles. Now they didn't graduated to motorbikes, but they started off with cycles, small cycles that will come into communities. And they come to people within those communities and they say to them, give us your weight, we can export it, and we can pay you or reward you for giving us waste. And so they started off by giving people things like, okay, so you give me, like, you actually have, how do you call it? You give points. If you give me 10 bottles of plastic bottles today, maybe you get 2 points. After a certain amount of points, they'll bring a reward to you. And so community people within communities are eager to give away their rubbish. And some people, I think they have got to the point where some people have been able to send their children to school based upon the reward they are getting. And the government, like you are saying, the government has come behind them fully and supports them. I think a few years back, the lady that started that thing was only their own in Ambodi's government.
Last
No, she was full
Landscape.
Landscape, yes, landscape. So that's the kind of thing that people come up with very difficult and how do we solve this problem? All right. And those are the different ways that social entrepreneurs can do this. Okay, so where does space come in? I want us to look at this picture, if you can see very well from here. And I want us to answer the question, what is wrong with that picture? What is wrong? What is wrong with that picture?
It's completely devoid of Christian faith or anything about Christ.
Devoid of
Christ.
Christ, okay? What do you think is the objective of that? Huh? Do you all know, are we aware of those goals?
Yes,
How many people are aware of the global goals?
I am.
Let's raise our hands if you are aware. Okay, the whole world under the UN, this is what they want us to achieve.
Yes.
In the whole world, they say we should do this from number 1 to number 17. If we achieve that, if we achieve all of those things, what will the world look like? Paradise. It's utopia, not paradise.
Of course, it's utopia.
It's utopia.
Yeah.
Okay. They are trying to take us to a godless place. All right. Where there's no poverty, zero hunger, good health, well-being, quality education, gender equality, clean water and sanitation, affordable and clean energy, safe work and economic growth, industry, innovation and infrastructure, requiring equalities, reduce inequalities, sustainable cities and communities, responsible consumption and production, climate action, life below water, life on land, peace and justice, strong institutions, partnership for the goals. Perhaps they should have put something spiritual. At least to
Heaven at last.
the church, it was not level of consideration. But the word of it, we think that it's totally absent. It's like we can create a world that is perfect without Christ. When I started my story, I told you who were the ones who were captured, who were the models, who were the pioneers. The world did not know this. They did not. The world was stepping. Then the man was for himself. And if there was a God for all of us. Over the years, over the millions, it got up with us. Very short ways, and we forgot our responsibility. And then they came and told us, if you want to do these kinds of things, you should not bring religion inside. I told you that save the children, the leader said, save the children was the one that championed the UN rights for the child. Yes, we never hear about our people. How many people know of William Carey? How many people know William Carey? Okay, like my good friend here, you know William Carey. Okay, let me just read something that I found out about William Carey. But William Carey went to India and said they had been for 40 years or so. Never went on holiday. Big and monumental impact. Meaning just a few people. was changing the systems that operated in that country. I understand that this idea of the funeral empire, where you like you born people on widows, were related alongside their husbands. Born to life, it's a practice in India. The husband dies as they are going to leave the woman also. Because Christianity that changed them. The killing of twins. There is some people in the spirit. She came, and that's the change. Christians were pioneers. If you read the story of Florence Nightingale, and her cause, she felt this call of God upon her life, and people wanted her to get married. She said, it's like I'm married to Jesus, and this force. I must be it. During the World War, as people were dying left, right, and center, she put herself in the middle of it. And that changed the whole healthcare system. And today they tell us that should not be there. And we agree. We take the back seat. Christianity has changed dramatically in the sense that the center of gravity of our faith has shifted from the West to Africa. When it was done south in the West, the great thing was done. Now that it is centered here, the great deal must be done. Okay? And I don't want to go on talking and talking. So let me skip all of this. One thing I want to talk about is the fact that it is possible for us to integrate. It's a model from the guy called Borges. And it says Christianity or missions can be integrated with social entrepreneurship. What you have in commercial and social and faith going together. All right? And in those intersections, you can see what happens here. Between religion and commerce, there is a marketplace mission. Between religion and social action, there is integral mission. Okay? And between social action and commerce, there is social entrepreneurship. And right here in the middle is one important social entrepreneurship. So all of that is in your notes. What I would like for us to do now is to go into our people of research, our workshop. Now that we have learned about social entrepreneurship, what I would like for us to do is to get ourselves into groups. Okay? All of you have this council. Yes. You all have this? Yeah. How many people are here? Huh? 82 people. Can we get ourselves in this group? 10 groups. 10 groups. Each group, yes. Let's get ourselves into 10 groups. Yeah, so let's count. What was starting? Okay. Please let nobody move. But you have a number. Number 1. Okay, stop the 10. 10, right? No. 10. 10. 1. 2. 5. 6. 7. 8. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, 6.
Right. 1. Go 1. 4. 3. Okay, so you try to pull yourself together. If you're number 1, find somebody that is number 1 and all of you get together. All right, we may have to shift around a little bit. So number 1, let's Margaret, can you help me to like position them 1 to 10? Let's say 1s are here, 2 close here in the middle, 3 here.
Some can move in.
4 here, 5, 6, 7 here.
Hello.
9.
Hello, sir. There's a suggestion that why don't they just take 8, 8? Let's go like that.
8,
10, 10, right? 10, 10. Just go like that. So that we don't change things. Yes. So that oh my. I think from this road,
We have 10 here already. Yeah.
with the number is on your screen.
In 1 row, okay. 3 groups. In 1 row. Just put your next 3 groups. Now, what we want to do, we are talking about social entrepreneurs identifying opportunities. Is that right? That is the place to start. If you want to be a social entrepreneur, you must be able to see gaps. All right? And if you see gaps, no problems, difficult challenges. So I'm giving you this photograph. It's a cartoon that is representative of Lagos. In each of your groups, what I want you to do is, can you give out yeah, the group charts, yes. Okay. In your groups, you write down the problems or what you see happening here in terms of challenges. Yes, the needs of it. How we have here the questions. Who are they? Who are their relations? What do they need? What do they do? Where do they do? We are asking several of new questions and each question. Okay. When is it happening? When will it begin? Why is it happening? Why can't we change? How do they like? Okay, those are just example questions. You can ask your own questions. You have the flip chart slide contribute. And not do that. You are asking from you a question. And I'm giving some examples. You cannot do any questions. You look at the picture and you say, for instance, who are these people? And who can, hello, who can mean they are the whole country? They are teenagers, they are women, they are poor. Are you getting me? All right? That's who are these people? What do these people mean? It's another example. But if I ask your own what question, what are the challenges that confront them? What are they doing? What do they do on a daily basis? And then, where do they live? Where do they come from? Where do they go when they race? Then another question is when you look at time. What period is this? So there is something called executing the city. You are looking at Lagos and you're executing it. You're trying to know exactly what's going on in this city. So imagine that you have a church in this location. Like a pastor is sent to go and plant a church inside this locality. You and your spouse, you have and you want to know your community. All right? And you are thinking to yourself, what is God wanting you to do? At the church. I told you, I'm asking to experience that community. I'm asking these questions. Instead of these questions. Who, what, why, when, how, okay? And then wherefore? Wherefore has to be different words. What do you mean? What do you mean now? Now that we go on, what do we now do? That's how I left as an last question. Okay, so we have a limited time to your groups. Identify a leader and to take down notes. Engage yourselves in asking questions. So when people are wherefore, for what is going to be asked yourself, so what we now not potential there, what you first accept the needs of the community, and then you can say to yourself, okay, this is what we want to see, we can focus ourselves on, all right? Thank you. Take note of the organizers. I do not know. Some groups are making very good progress.
When did you leave?
That one, yes. I saw 15 and 16. Oh, really? And yes, at the end.
All right, and I said the work for us is for one of the forwards. You know, after this one, what next? What next? So that is where it comes back to me about what can we possibly do? All right. Are you getting me? I want to like for you to do is to identify something that you want to stay on. I think that's how we are going to handle it. Okay. So when what you try volume stuff. Get on your minds. You don't have to be perfect. Okay, sorry, I will do it. I don't like what things. And this I don't like about it. One moment. Hello, let's get together. Let's get together, please. Hello. All of that is so what you want to do is just take a few seconds of your minutes. Tell us why you identify some of the issues that you saw and what you identify as the opportunity. Okay? What you identify as an opportunity, the social and entrepreneurship opportunity. Okay, so who will represent you?
Where's the microphone? I know.
We see that they are negotiating, and of course, Nigeria, they are not bad. Okay. Today needs. We identify that they need money. They need public toilets. They need direction. They need peace and education centers, clean water, accommodation and rehabilitation centers, organized transportation, and then no government representation. And then of course, they need schools and hospitals. Where do they live? Most of them is so that they are living on the streets, ghettos, and their brokers. And then when did this happen? There was no specific time when it happened. We said that it's a regular, it happened for a very long time. So good. And then why? The lack of infrastructure in the area. We also see that the issue of indiscipline is also there. Then the challenge from home, lack of home training, and also broken homes. And then the issue of church might not be fully represented there. And then how do they live? They live violently. And then they have a rural lifestyle, they live lawlessly, and then of course they are struggling for survival. You know, they live very tough lives. And from all indication, there's no relationship with God from what they are doing. Yes, the opportunity we see there is that we need to pray like an advocacy group to be able to bring about government and the church representation in that community. We can also bring about the issue of creating health centers. Thank you.
Well, we have been able to identify 6 groups that in the time that we have. We have area boys and burglars. We have prostitutes. We have underserved community. We have witch stoppers. We have traditionalists who are captured as youth carnivals, and we have street workers. And here's what we think should be done. The burglars, we think that they need reorientation and employment, and then skill acquisition. The prostitute, we think that they need rehabilitation and reintegration, and then employment too. Majority of them really, because of poverty, have found themselves in this area. Then for the underserved community, we think that they need basic amenities like water, public toilets, recycling, and all the rest. We think that apart from our own effort, we think that we should go into partnership, probably with the governments or companies around there, so that we'll be able to bring these things to bear. Okay. Then for the traditionalists, we think that there's a need for evangelism, one-on-one, and then eventually in the church. Then the last one is street workers. We think that they need vocational schools. Thank you.
Good idea. Let's clap for them.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah.
It's been training. We have about here. Who are they? Wow, that they are prostitutes, Olosos. Discovered that they are also Oloso pro-max. Hoodlums, we saw this. Armed robbers, child abuse, and then what do they need? They need social amenities, healthcare centers, public toilets, proper education, marketplace, good road network, security of life and properties, sanitation agencies, and then where do they live? They live on the streets, slum, disorganized society, under bridges, and so on and so forth. And then why do they live like that? Or why did it happen? Failed system, bad governments. Why is this happening? Can they change? Nobody is taking responsibility, no social concern. And then who do they see? How do they see life? They see life as normal. So nothing is abnormal to them. And then, therefore, what are we going to do? Preach Christ-centered gospel, proper educational system, in summary, a holistic evangelism.
All right. Right, you did definitely about that way after, all right?
In our group, there are some things we also noted that are actually an error here. One of the things that we saw bribery and corruption. Yeah, there is a police officer, but there are 2 police officers here who are actually taking bribe from this public boss. We saw lawlessness so much evident here. We saw child abuse and child labor. We saw so many of them that ought to have been in school who are actually out there hawking and also doing nothing. And we saw indecency and immorality. Indecency and immorality. We have so many young ones who are actually almost half naked. We have them having their fun, even in the public, without any much reason for them to be afraid. We also have lack of social amenities. We saw a queue of young ladies and boys carrying water, fresh water from just one source of our public water. We also have pollution. There's a place where there's written no dumping of refuse. Whereas there's a refuse pit there, we have a woman and a man polluting. We have gangsterism. There's some 3 sets of people here on the. So our way out is this. We saw that advocacy is the main thing, and we should start from the church, because the very first one that we mentioned was bribery. On that box, it is written Jesus saves. So we saw a kind of people who knows more about it or who does not have it. So if they do have it, not just knowing it, they'll be able to do exactly what they have known of him. So we are seeing a situation, an opportunity for us for advocacy to educate people, to empower the youths. Because when the people are educated and empowered, it will also reduce the level of poverty, which will definitely be a very good way of reducing these anomalies.
Great. Thank you. Let's clap for that. Thank you. My time is running out, so I want us to be snappy about it. So, catalog the entire list I have. Just summarize the findings.
Okay. What we found out about who they are, that there are a lot of youths engaging in immoral acts. There are children mocking. We have corrupt law enforcement taking work. We have prostitutes and other things as well. So, what do they need? We believe that they need salvation. Majority of them, they need school, toilets, water supply.
We're asking, what are we going to do? So we are going to stop it. We think we want to identify all these issues, to identify one particular guy that we think we want to not access to.
One of the things we decided on was salvation. So we are going to bring salvation to those places. Like preaching the gospel. Yes, and the word. Yes. Yeah, we spoke about provision of basic infrastructure. That as well.
All right. So again, that's the thing. You say the means what? Innovatively. All right. This is representative of many communities. All right. And of course, it's exaggerated, but there are communities that go through problems of this sort in one way or the other. So you have said to yourself, okay, identify this and want to identify an innovative way to tackle this problem. That is all this exercise is about. Identifying the problems and identifying something that can be done to alleviate the particular issue. Okay, so yes,
for us, we concluded that this is a dysfunctional system where these are not really order summary, because one of their vehicles said no party for John, meaning the survival of the fittest, and how one can see chaos around. So what are we going to do? Well, we see the opportunity with CBS for social entrepreneurship in the area of sex worker rehabilitation, area course rehabilitation, out of school children program. We call it AKA close, so that should make it and then voluntary traffic marshals, because you see confusion here. That's now putting Christians going there in address and helping from time to time to bring sanity in that environment.
Now we have what is good. That is innovation. Thank you so much. Another group. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, a lot has been said, and I think every one of us see that the learning society. That one will approach it from an angle so that I don't repeat what I said. If I were to draw this chart, I would have loved to put the church building at least in the middle of this chart, where I see the prostitutes, the traffic problem, and everything. The way this chart is drawn is that I see a church that is more involved in the marketplace. A church that can reach out to these people. If it's possible, we can build a church beside the brothel. A church that they can see as part of them. We will be able to study them properly. And we can not just any kind of church, but a church that sees them from the angle they're coming from and can reach out to them. So I think that the church will do more in getting involved in their day-to-day life, being able to enlighten them. We have had churches like that. From my church, for instance, I've seen brothers around us, and they see us every day, and we pray until those brothers close. And some of them, we are brought into the church. So I think the church should move more into that. Why not neglecting the issue of their social amenities that the church can have to provide? Thank you. All right.
All right, so among all devices that you mentioned, we focused on the prostitution and sexual immorality, and we saw that it's mostly among the youths. Their need, what's they need? Obviously, money needs to do all sorts, need for affirmation, lack of skills, job, and what do we need to do to change the situation? Engage them. People don't care much, not much care. So, what exactly are these individuals going through? Some of them have affirmation, like you said, change of mindset, rehabilitation, vocational skills. And like you said, in engaging them, we can now just
good. Let's clap for them. Last game.
Okay, I don't want to repeat the regular facts about negotiations and what we prostitution, probably stealing and whatnot. Yes, so what do we need? We need education, enlightenment, health care, standard one, competent law enforcement, financial assistance, spiritual assistance, and follow-up. Now, this, when it happens, is very key. At a point of negligence and bad circumstances, because a lot of people don't choose the kind of circumstances they're born into, but they can make a choice where they want to end at a particular point. So, yes, wherefore, now we are going to, we are actually saying we are the lights of the world and salt of the earth. Yes, so the place of spiritual follow-up is not to be, cannot be overemphasized. Yes, because I can see on that verse when they wrote Jesus saves, and people are still giving the money and paying the price. So it is the negligence for me. It's negligence. Another thing is when you have key heights of key positions, Christian leaders taking key positions in the government. It has like something done with wisdom
like what we should do, wise as we speak, and as gentle as it goes. We can go about these things with a strategy. If other religions have some strategy, why can't we? So this will seek and create into the system without people really taking over, taking over everywhere. And also we need social, Christian-minded social entrepreneurs to create the kind of kingdom impact that can touch the heart of people. Because when you touch their hearts, you start to influence how they behave and the things they do and the people they impact, and they go on to impact it around that city, and before you know it, it's a global phenomenon. So who can say what the point of this exercise was? One person to volunteer. Huh? Identify the social entrepreneurship opportunity. Okay, that's where it all starts. You have to be able to see what is going on. Which means all of us must put on glasses to observe what is going on around us. You cannot identify an opportunity if you are not seeing. If you are so caught up with yourself, every day you go to work or you go to church, now the church as a community is only concerned about their own personal needs. They will not be able to see what is going on in the community at large. And so the point of this exercise is for us to be able to execute the communities to be able to operate. If they are asking tough questions, for instance, that why question, what I said, you should ask the why question 5 times. Because the why questions always get to the root of the problem. So for instance, you say, oh, they are poor people. You ask the question, why are they poor? Oh, they are poor because they are not working. Why are they not working? They are not working because government has not given. So you by asking those why questions, you eventually get down to the root of the problem. Okay, so then you can come up with action. So critically questioning your community is what it's all about. As church leaders, as church and communities of faith, we should constantly be engaging in this, not only for social entrepreneurship, but also for ministry among the people. Okay, and we want to bring our time to a close. Unfortunately, we can't finish the next part of it today. We have this big idea canvas. I'm coming to you, sir. This big idea canvas that I'd have loved for us to go through, but it will not be possible today. So maybe tomorrow when we come, because it picks up from here. Okay, and then we'll begin to talk about concrete plans. This is exactly what we want to do, and how we want to do it, and how it's there in your notes, by the way. Okay, all right. So here's your question.
Most of the answers we have and the submissions, they are things we normally do. So I was just thinking outside the box. We do what we are saying we are going to do here. I was going to get the same result. What people do to ask the last question? Ask instead of why is this happening? Why is it not happening? Okay, like the first one. Who are they? What people ask, who are they not? What do they do? What is it that they are not doing? Where do they live? Where are they not living? I don't know if you give us a different.
Did we get his point? Huh? So the point is again to think critically. All right, no past questions, no bad answers. All right, it's deep thinking. If you want to really engage in issues, it's deep thinking. All right, we'll take a few more questions and then we'll close.
Thank you very much. The issue of social enterprise is always in the church. The missionary state, started state, total state. Lots of that these things are happening. But what are we arriving? These things are the life of the house. Just like business and money. The business types
Because no parents. We are supposed to do those things for the things outside of the outside that physics mentioned that he wants to say. Yeah, to be that it's not enough of the change. You can't say. Well, an intuition from group 4, 18 and 13. You begin to see, you think that, the intuition and these are basic things, these are things we know. And as pastors, we have done some of these things in different ways. We are talking to people who are not really glad. How can I believe that when a person is doing it, a number of things happen to him. And if take the picture again, when I have the same picture, I'll find a way out of it. This is not a check. The one that had people saying will come by a job. But for the driver to go through the trap, he has to keep and just have presentation. It's like you know, like any other person at the end of the day, you start to socialize about the changes. Because the social involvement, politics, it doesn't happen on the government have Christian opposed to the Christian and what is happening there. These are issues that we cannot, for example, the more we go, the more change we do succeed. How can we, these places, we can't be able to think, how can I mean that? How can I extend life? It can't be moved into the Christian. I'm living as a Christian and surviving in the difficult circumstances. In some certain way. A true Christian. What you open his eyes, it's our way to teach me that within the eyes to know what is going to do. Because not just my reason, not of my this brother and sister, I believe in that. For how can we use that? This take a look at that in church. All the things they talk about. The first thing we think was this kind of social enterprise. Yeah, so the whole idea of social enterprise is not welfare. Okay. Sustainable change. Yeah. That's the right thing. That's right. That's government was trying to talk about here. I just wanted to respond a little bit. I talked about William Carey. I asked myself the question: how do people like William Carey keep their faith? How do people like Florence Nightingale keep their faith? How did some of the other people have mentioned during our presentation, how did they keep their faith while engaging in these things? And why are we not able to do similarly? It's a critical question, okay? So the issue is not getting involved. The issue is how we get involved. How we get involved. And that is why the study of some of these things is very important. I think Reverend Green has brought out a very critical issue related to it. Because there is this thing called mission drift. You can get engaged as a church, and before you know it, you drifted into something else. Okay? And once you are aware of that, you can always kind of retrace your steps and come back to where what you're supposed to be doing. But these are discussions that go beyond a conference or a workshop like this. All right, there is a time perhaps people will start we planning to start a food program in entrepreneurship and social entrepreneurship within the context of ACTS, and many people want to start advancing about that so. And some of those very critical questions that relate to it can be addressed there. Okay, let's take 2 more people and then we'll close.
What that you just said, I think when it comes to this social work we're talking about, I think we also need to start from the base of the church. Some of those names that you call now, personally, I feel one of the reasons why they succeeded are that then the church was not divided as teaching. Because we also need to, as the body of Christ, there's the need for change of mentality, and we need to start accepting ourselves as one. We need to start not looking at ourselves as, oh, this is the remaining member. This because there's some wonderful ideas we have at the Vista that goes beyond just the church. We want to involve other people under the body of Christ. But when you take these ideas to churches, the pastor look at you and say, oh, we kind of want to draw their members from the church. They just keep prevents other people from even buying into it and support that. If you don't put your house in order, it's difficult for you to go and put another man's own in order. So the division it's really alarming. And without being ourselves as one, that's where we can support each other and create impacts.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much. You know, there is a group called the Quakers in the United Kingdom. The Quakers are responsible, the one group most responsible people. Okay. They were a closely knit of Christians. They have faced tremendous persecution from the Anglican Church because they were not Anglicans. The Anglican Church was like a state church. Okay, and in the midst of that persecution, they got themselves together, united as one, stayed as one community. All right. And what we see them accomplish over a long period of time is coming from the fact that they were a network of believers who stood up as one, supported one another, and grow the social missions alongside their faith in everything they did. So thank you so much for making that contribution. The church coming together as one and say we need to collaborate and do this is very important. Last person. Okay, then ask me. Then you speak. You'll be the last person.
Praise the Lord. Please, I'm finally the person and I'm happy for this office. This is what I'm saying here. This is my field in the ministry. This is my field in the ministry. So when we are looking at this, I was like, Sam, what can I do? How do I come about it? I need more ideas. In this place, I have who I'm getting witness. I have a personal Alabi and here. I want to show you what I go to them and minister to them. I first hear, I said, no, what I show you, and God really follows me. But what's really set my heart is that all these boys, I tried day I tried nights, nights. I'll be able to show you very like which BG doing film show and what the videos so that see I haven't never one space. Sir, yeah, talking about my speaking to share theater. All these boys, I try my best in my own little way. Take some to where they will learn. They want to learn and repeat and take them. Want to do normal work
I take them to them there. These are all these little things and enhance it. They refuse to do. They refuse to do. The lady is there, you come now, yeah, yes, and I can make up, what do you do now? What? Okay. Now, so therefore, even if I'm doing my that video, they'll be no, I say actual minds that are listening. Truly they do. They not come closer. They say, Mama, I'm not really police. Don't worry about police. Forget about that one. I have been for that. I'm talking. They don't stop us. For sir, if I didn't come one thing for that video, if you see them, I not see you. I did not see you. You didn't join me. So what can I do? Am I not, is my effort not enough, or the ideas is not much? Thank you.
There is a man at the back there. Man. See that man that's over there. That's drinking that water.
Okay, sir.
I already finished.
Okay, sir.
Okay. This our dear boy also wants to say something in response to me. Huh?
I think what you are just doing is just to somebody else come and the increase trying for somebody else. Then it will come a time where you bring the soap. All you guys need to do is for me. So whether people are looking at you, people are seeing you, and they that at the stage they got to come. I was a truck boy and I played better instruments, but I don't know God. I was just playing instruments. I played drums, I played keyboard. But the day God will arrest me with someone is sitting down and just an event. So keep doing what you are doing and you simply watch. That's what it's for them.
Yes. My question is in two things. The first one is from the first facilitator. We were told that some people will just wake up and think that, okay, I'm in the male. But now something in me is telling me that I'm a female. In that situation, Bible made us to know when Genesis chapter 18 that the bride from Sodom and Gomorrah God and it's great God. But now that we now have in fact other kinds of evil, bisexual, homosexual, gay, all these things. Is it that God is not living? That is number one. Number two, as a church, what can we do? That is the first question. The second question is from our big sister, yes, and we have had so many testimonies from her and from you. My question is that the primary why we feel like giving back to the society is to show people that Jesus Christ loved them. Are we doing that with along with social? That is my question, sir.
What can the church do about it? Is God not really about this? Because today I'm a man, tomorrow I'm a woman.
Well, I'm sure there are many things. Those who omit fornication, those who tell lies. I mean, even believers in the church who don't live right, God is great. I mean, so we have to put God's greatness on the one hand and God's love on the other hand. Remember that you and I, if we have been destroyed when we were living in sin, perhaps none of us will be here today. I mean, there are those that did things that were more evil than even homosexuality. So we have to keep in mind that God was patient with us. It's true that in the case of Sodom and Gomorrah,
God decided after persisting, but that is in the hands of God. You know, when God decides that your cup is full and He wants to deal with you, it's not in our hand. But we should know that God is great, and even if God doesn't come down, for you as a believer, you know, God has put you as the eyes and hands and feet of Christ, in the world today. So I believe that God is great, and one of the things we do as a church, as an institution like this, is to communicate this truth. And the church should continue to teach people, and guide them in the right way.
Amen. All right. So I get my seat over there. Thank you all so much.
It's been a wonderful time. Thank you so much for your participation and your patience in the beginning of the day. And we appreciate our speakers, Dr. Luton and Dr. Ambrose. The Lord bless you, more grace in the name of Jesus. We will not be able to entertain any question again today because it's almost 3 o'clock. The plan is that you already breaking your fast. That is okay. Okay, if you have questions that you still want us to give answers to, just write down those questions and then you can drop them with one of our staffs. They will give it to me. And tomorrow we'll try as much as possible to answer some of those questions. Tomorrow we are going to have one of the things we are going to do tomorrow is also a review of today's presentation. So let's come on time tomorrow for us to have a better review of what we've been able to do today. Yes, if you have questions, just raise your hand and collect the paper to put down your question. And tomorrow we are going to respond to that. Thank you so much. Tomorrow, please try and make time. And the Lord will surely take you back positively in the name of Jesus. Now I'm going to invite Reverend Joseph from the Living Foundation Ministry to come up here and give us a closing prayer. Yes. Thank you. Tomorrow we're starting by 10, so let's start tomorrow. Thank you. I want to say